Welcome to Scripts and Giggles with Shoshana
and Marnie.
So,
Shoshana's decided she's middle class today.
no,
She's going to send her kids to a private school.
No, I'm just saying.
You think your kids are better than us?
No.
Do you think your kids are going to be better than my kids?
No.
Because I'll end this friendship right now.
There'll be no competition between our kids. Our kids will love each other. Would it be weird, like, if our kids
Got married?
Yeah.
No. It would be adorable.
Actually, that will be sweet. Like, my
but then,
son
will that
marries
affect
your daughter.
our relationship? Because our relationship works on the fact that we're friends, but how will we be when we're family?
Well, we kind of are like family now.
I know, but like, we'll be family. But we'll be family in the, like, your daughter has had a baby with my son, and I feel like the baby should be like this, but you feel like the baby should be like that. But because it's your daughter, do you get more of a say and I don't get a say? Like, what's the vibe? Because I'm very close to my maternal grandma.
Yeah.
But my paternal grandma was like, no, that's really unfair. She died this year.
Yeah. No, it's hard.
I do like her, but I'm obviously...
You're closer to one...
much closer to my maternal grandma.
I'm closer to my maternal grandma because she was in England and...
Yeah, exactly same. That's exactly the same thing.
Paternal grandma, she passed away. She's lived in Nigeria and doesn't speak English. So it's a different dynamic.
But does that mean...
But they'll have the same background. Like,
Yeah, well, I want to do, like, Ghanaian things with the baby. And you want to do illegal Nigerian things.
Let us not do this. Also, my kid may not just be Nigerian. They could be from anywhere in the world.
Oh, yes, my mistake. Sorry.
Basically, the whole of TikTok, anytime I just scroll, I just hear the song, Whitey. Whitey. Oh, if you're white, there's nothing for you.
But if you're white,
there's something for you. The thing is, and then they dragged the guy who did it because his girlfriend is white.
Listen, that's why he sang the song.
Exactly.
You have to believe in what you're singing.
He was telling you, if you're black, there's nothing for you.
I'm speaking from my heart. I was in a meeting today and my boss was like, in order to be a writer, you need to have something to say. And he had something to say. He said, if you're white, there's something for you. But if you're black, there's nothing for you.
I mean, all the examples he picked was very relevant to Shonda Rhimes. All Shonda Rhimes characters who are black female leads.
Interesting that Olivia and Fitz were in the press recently again.
Yeah.
They need to drop this.
I know.
It's getting out of hand.
No, but okay, so Kerry Washington's got her book out already. I think it's come out.
Why is she doing a book press tour with a man that's not her real husband?
Because they know that the Litz fans, the Scandal fans, want them to be together.
It has to stop.
But also, I think he's in love with her.
This is like the Jessica Chastain, Oscar Isaac stuff.
Oh, that was messy.
I'm so sorry.
That was messy.
We've talked about this before. I'm a jealous person.
Yeah, same.
If my husband was like, Emma, accept.
Because
me and you and her, all three of us are doing the press tour. I will quit my job so I can stand next to you.
The Jessica Chastain Oscar Isaac thing was mad because they were not acting. They were on the press tour on the red carpet and he's there snuggling up to her. That was weird.
Talking about, she's the best person I know.
Huh?
You guys are sick.
It's gonna come out in a couple of years that they're having an affair. No
it's
doubt.
Sick.
But the Olivia and Fitz thing, I think they just play into it because they know the fans love it.
Yeah, but cut it out.
But I think
I don't even get because that's another rom-com trope. Pretending to be a couple and falling in love.
But
you're not gonna get me.
But I like them together. Like the way he looks at her. Also, like he's so attractive. The guy, the president, even now at his big age.
What's his name? John Goldwyn or Joseph Goldwyn?
Something Goldwyn. His family owned the Goldwyn, Metro Goldwyn. So
he's a nepo baby.
Yeah.
Wow, of course you love that.
What?
You're trying to become an upper class, middle class girly all of a sudden.
No.
You're trying to be like, next time I see you, you're going to be talking like this. Oh, yeah. Didn't you say you grew up in Peckham even though you actually grew up in Camberwell?
Marnie, I did not.
Shoshana, you said that.
No, I don't think I did.
Shoshana, you used to always be walking around. Shoshana, you used to wear a hoodie underneath your blazer to school.
No, that was not me.
You should be selling weed on the playground. No. And now suddenly you think you're a classy girl.
You're going to take that right back. His name is also Tony Goldwyn.
That's what I said.
How old is he? Let me just
Jonathan check. Tony.
Yeah. 63. He looks good for 63.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, he does.
If The Bachelor's 72, he does not look good for 63.
I think he looks decent for 63.
He's going to look like he's 80 when he's 70.
No, I think
because he already looks 70.
No, he's wait. No, he's aged well.
You're such a fit stan.
I am a fit stan. I am a fit. It was always Fitz. It was never Jake.
Jake was hot.
Oh, look at him. He looks so good. He may not be 63 in this photo, but
Jake was hot.
No, he wasn't.
He was
Fitz.
physically hotter.
No, he was
taller, bigger, muscles.
I don't care about that. Fitz, when he walks with authority. That's what I'm
Because he's literally the president.
Yes.
But I'm talking about just look at this person's face.
In real life, this guy walks in the room and you're like, yeah. Hello. How's life?
You see how she changed her voice then? She said, yeah. That's her new voice that she will do when she's living in Surrey.
No, I'm not.
Doing up. Yeah, no, so my son, yeah, he does play rugby and, no, not rugby, rugger. That's what she'll be calling it.
No.
He rows on the Thames. He's so proficient.
The thing is,
Oscar, quickly come in and say, Felix, come and say hello to Auntie Marnie. She's from South London. So it's an exchange project, basically. That's going to be it.
The things I just don't... I don't understand how...
raggedy South London kids would be like, you right?
I just don't understand how I would mix with those type of people. Because I just don't.
What do you mean by mix?
Like, how I would get... Don't do that.
Mix?
I meant in like... I don't know how I would form a relationship with someone who sees life in that way.
In what way? What's the way?
In a super upper class type of way. Super privileged. Because I
what if he's like...
That's not my background.
Shoshana, this is something about how earthy and working class you are. I really feel like you and I could produce a super race.
If a guy ever told me that, I wouldn't even be in the conversation to hear that. This is giving me Uche vibes from Love is Blind.
I'm trying to think how I would feel if a man described me as
earthy,
down earthy and working class.
I would tell him that that he's just stuck up and he's giving me like his head's up his ass type of vibes, and then walk off. There's something else for me to say.
You're right, Governor. I'm a street urchin. If you could give me any change, that would be incredible.
I mean, that should be hilarious. That would actually be hilarious.
Collect some coin.
And watch his face as he just looks
my Governor, this is going to feed my family for years. I
don't know what world we would be mixing. And also, like, how would I meet this person?
He's the CEO of your workplace. He's doing a tour and he says, that one, bring it to me.
Oh my God.
I'll take that one.
What kind of Oliver Twist?
What a lovely rump it has.
Jeez, it's just
well fed.
Oh my God.
Like my favourite kind of cattle.
Oh my God. Look, I'll be honest. Wherever you're going with this story, you just stop right now. But also, I just feel like I always imagine that the person I will be with will be in a very similar class bracket to me.
How will you afford your expensive things?
I don't really live in
an
expensive lifestyle.
How are you going to put your kids in private school?
I was making a joke off air about like if I ever moved to Surrey.
It wasn't a joke. You said it with your chest.
I mean, look, if I was moving to Surrey, that could be potentially my life.
Really disrespectful.
There's nothing disrespectful about going to private school. I'm not saying we did not go to private school. I mean, we kind of did a consortium, but we didn't go to private school.
Don't put me in that. The law on the podcast is that Marnie, working class, earthy girl,
but
pulled herself up by her bootstraps. I didn't go to school.
I understand the best of both worlds. Like Hannah Montana, I've seen how it is to be working class, dirt poor, and just making ends meet. And what's
the best of that?
I haven't seen I haven't seen the uber rich, but I've gone to nice places to eat. I've gone to nice hotels pre-work, and I see how the other half lives, and I'm like, cool. Now let me go back to Peckham.
So how does private?
Let me go back to South London.
That? So yeah, how do you know you're not going to meet one of these governors in the hotel?
What? Come on, let's be
real.
He'll be like,
oh, what floor are you going to in the lift? And you'll be like, oh, I'm actually going to the penthouse suite.
Let's be honest.
It's like, same.
Do we know?
You look expensive.
I am.
Like, exactly. And he'll be like, great.
Yeah.
I'd like to buy you.
I may look expensive, but my jeans are from Primark and my top is from Mango. And that's the only thing that is expensive on me. Everything's from Primark apart from one item. Well, actually, no, this is Amazon.
He says, I was going to offer you a chance to come and live the high life. But now that I heard that you have the taste of a mum on an estate, I think it's too late for you.
I always want to be able to look expensive, but know that I've not had to spend the money to do so.
And as me and Shoshana discussed on a previous off-air,
I look great.
I personally like to look like... I would like to spend money I don't have on clothes that look incredible.
No, you always look good. Like, there's no doubt about it.
We'll talk about this in the office. For Christmas party, we're thinking of doing superlatives.
What do you mean?
Like best dress.
Oh, okay. Like a award show type of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
What
my colleague was like, well, I think for best dressed it'll be like you and one other person. And I was like...
Who's the other person?
I'm not going to name their name, but I do like how they dress.
Okay.
Like, they're the other person in the office. There's like 2 other people in the office who like... It's weird. There's 2 other people in the office who I would be happy to swap wardrobes with.
Oh, okay, that's nice.
And then there's one other person in the office who dresses like me but more expensive. So I'm like, it wouldn't be that exciting to swap wardrobes with you because it's just my wardrobe, but like you actually spent $1,000 on this outfit, whereas I literally spent maybe 100 like all together.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah, I'm trying to think. Yeah, well, that's good. At least you know you've been running.
I mean, I wasn't expecting anything less, to be honest. I am the best dressed person in that office, by my own standards, of course.
Of course. I'm trying to think about how big your wardrobe is.
It's not that big.
How are you able to cram all this stuff in?
Oh, I have my winter wardrobe.
Okay, and then you're
yeah.
Because I was going to say, I don't think I've ever seen you repeat an outfit.
You must have.
I don't think I have. I've seen a few things like maybe repeated, but
You're right,
outfit.
I try not to do that.
No, I have not. I've not seen it. And I see you every week.
You see me every week, that is such a good point.
And the irony is, I know you see me repeat outfits.
I would never say.
But I have. Like, I repeat my outfits quite often because I know I probably need to do a bit of a style re-look through my wardrobe, especially like for...
Please let me do it.
No, you're gonna just...
Please let me do it.
You're gonna rip all my rubbish out, like take all my stuff out. And
no, because sometimes it's just about... There's a combination.
I know. But I think the thing I struggle with and I realise I don't have a lot of is like going out clothes, like out clothes. Like last week...
About what you wore last week?
I was struggling.
What did we talk about?
Okay, I wore. we were going to this place called High Jingo, which is in East London. And a very fun, like, bingo experience. It's basically just making everything feel fun. Interactive, dancing, etc. And so I didn't know what to wear, so I was dressing for High Jingo, but I feel like I felt like I was dressing for a different occasion versus everyone else. I came in a black leather skirt with black tights. Midi skirt. I don't have mini skirts because of my
min skirt.
I don't have min skirts because of my the length of my legs, and I don't like showing my ass.
I'm taller than her,
but I just don't feel comfortable wearing.
I know we've discussed this before.
Because also I feel like the skirts ride up because of the derriere, so I can't help that. Then I wore a t-shirt from a old TV show.
They rebooted it. So
they rebooted it, yeah. For Nevermind the Buzzcocks. And then that was giving a bit of colour. There was a black t-shirt with like red and I wore some black tights, which I probably shouldn't have, but I hadn't shaved my legs. And I wore some white trainers. And I had a black like suede jacket. Everything was quite black. It was a bit too black for me in terms of like an all black outfit, and I actually wish I wore like a white top instead and it made it a bit more casual. And I think it would have worked better with the white trousers. White trainers. But that was my outfit. And I knew there was going to be comments. But I thought I looked cute. I just felt like I was going to a different occasion.
I just didn't like the white trainers.
I'm actually surprised. I thought you were going to...
No, I think you should have worn a boot.
Yeah, but I just didn't... The weird thing is, I did try on... I put on the white trainers because I was going to alternate between my burgundy boots, which would not have gone with it anyway, or the white trainers. And the minute I put the white trainers on, I lifted it up to see the mirror. I was like, I'm happy with that. And I left the house. It made me feel comfortable. It made me feel like cool. All right, one day I'll let you go through my wardrobe. I'm sure
I love that so much.
We're going to have a whale of a time.
I love clothes so much. I love people's individual styles.
But the thing is, you're going to be you're going to be competing with my sister because she also wants to come and do a little bit of a style. Actually, no, she wants to come and steal my stuff. So
She can have the stuff that I decide is no longer fitting in the wardrobe.
yeah, she'll take it.
Yeah, I know she will.
Because she always says that once I'm done with anything I wear, she'll take it from me.
Me and my sister used to be like that.
You guys have different styles, right?
Very different styles. But she like her like casual wear is like big jumper. I love a big jumper. Like weirdly, it's so weird. Like basically, she dresses how I used to dress when I was that age, and I don't have that stuff anymore.
Yeah.
So when she's like, "Oh, do you want this?" I'm like, "Yeah," because it's like just a big jumper. And then when I'm like, "Do you want this?" She's like, "No." But in 5 years, she'd be like, "Yeah."
Yeah. She hold it, vintage.
No. The thing about my wardrobe is, in order to keep up with how much shopping I do, I need to make sure that everything in there is vital.
Oh my god! So are you buying stuff for like trends or stuff?
No, I buy stuff seasonally.
Oh my god!
No, as in like, let me be clear. I don't buy stuff every season.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I need an entirely new wardrobe. I mean, during that season, I have to be really strict with myself not to buy something. I'm like, oh, that's cute and it's on sale, but it's for summer.
Yeah.
I'm like, am I going to, like, can this slot into my wardrobe right now? And I buy, I wouldn't call it a capsule wardrobe so much, but like, it needs to fit into my wardrobe.
Yeah.
So I would buy, like, I've been looking for brown trousers.
Okay, I see. Okay, trying for the gap.
Yes, exactly. That's what kind of the way I shop. It's like, oh, I think if I had brown trousers, I could suddenly wear this top, and this top, which I haven't been wearing because I don't have anything to wear it with. Like that stuff. I have stuff already in my wardrobe that I'm like, I really like this, and I want to wear it, but like it doesn't quite go with that, so I'm gonna get something that goes with it. But sometimes you don't find anything, and sometimes you see something, you're just like, I love this so much, I'm gonna buy it. But that very rare, I'm very strict with myself about not doing that because it just ends up going in the wardrobe and it's like I have nothing to wear it with and it's just in there. So I don't do that. But recently I bought a lot of bottoms because this is so boring. Well, not boring anyway. A friend of mine and I were on a phone call and I was telling her about how crazy it is that there used to be body type. It's like body type things were so
like the jeans.
And then we looked it up and I was like, we were looking at the body types and I was like, oh, LOL, there's one called a brick. Like they just have the most mean names.
They're mean. That is mean.
And then she was like, I actually think I'm a brick. And because we were reading the description.
But brick is like up and down, like nothing.
No, it was
no
like
curves, straight.
Yeah, basically it was like basically you're proportional. Yeah. And then in here, you've got to create the illusion of...
in the waist part.
Yeah, in and out. And then I was like, oh, I'm a column, because that's always what I thought I was. And then I was like reading the thing and it was like, I was like, maybe I'm an inverted triangle. Because it was like wide, like your shoulders are wider than your hip. So I like looked in the mirror and I was like, my shoulders are wider than my hips. Yeah. And then I literally was having an existential crisis. I was like, this whole time I thought I was like, oh, I'm proportional. I'm not. I'm a fucking linebacker with small boobs and a tiny bum. This is crazy. And they're like, here are things you shouldn't wear for your inverted triangle. And I was like, okay. That's like look at my wardrobe and be like
I a lot of what they said actually.
Or like trying stuff on and looking at myself in the mirror and being like, oh, I get it. Like certain things that they say look nice on an inverted triangle. It's about like balancing out the top and the bottom. So when I wear this and this, it's comfy and I like it, but it's actually not doing me any favours. And I was like, this is really interesting. So I kind of started reshifting my wardrobe to try and make it just more flattering to my figure. But there's also, I don't think, it's like, I'll read about trends, but I don't adhere to them the same way. Like, there is stuff in that inverted triangle thing that I will listen to and things that I won't. Like, it's like, oh, basically you can never wear any like cool tops because you don't want anything to draw attention to the top half of you. Like, I'm not gonna do that. Yeah. Like, I like big collars. Yeah. They're like, don't wear a big collar. Like, don't always wear V-neck. And it's like, I mean, it's freezing, so I'm not going to do that, am I? Like, it's about to be winter time. I'm going to wear a V-neck every single day. Like, my neck is the coldest part of me. But like, stuff like that always makes me like look at my wardrobe differently. And I'm like, oh, and then like seasonally I'm like, okay, it's starting to be cold, I need more jumpers in here.
I feel like
we haven't talked about this before.
We talk about like the type of clothes that you like to wear, and then you were talking about green. You were looking for like this specific shade of green. But I think I do always try and look for items that are like not in the trend in the sense that it has some longevity. And I have mentioned this before on the pod, but I do feel like I need to go back and just have a look at my outfit, like my wardrobe again. And I'm being a bit more comfortable in like showing more skin, which is not what I've always been that interested in. Like wearing things that show a bit more my cleavage, which I really didn't like. But then that being said, winter is like one of my favorite months to dress because I just wear jumpers.
Yeah.
And it's just covering, and I know it's not flattering because I have a bigger boob and a bit of a bum. So like, it's just, I know I should actually wear stuff that actually accentuates, but I also don't like wearing tight stuff. So I can't help it.
The inverted triangle person thing said, wear a tight top.
I just can't. I mean, it's
wear a wide bottom. That's what it told me.
Oh really?
And I said, you know what?
But you have that already, though, right?
No, I think I like to wear a baggy top sometimes. Yeah. Like I don't. I don't like especially if it's like long sleeve. I'm like, oh, I'm hot. This is too much.
I don't.
But this summer, I don't really wear like sleeveless tops because I always felt really weird about my arms because I don't know. Really, it's probably because my shoulders.
Yeah, the shoulders. I have broad shoulders as well, so I get it.
So, but then I did wear it, and like the world didn't end, and I was like, oh,
yeah,
cool. I'm gonna try and just be like,
and just enjoy it.
Youthful.
Yeah, that's how I feel about showing my cleavage. Like, I don't like showing too much of it because I always feel a bit too low. But I had one of my favorite things I've worn was like when we met up right after I came back from holiday. I think I also felt like the best. Like I looked the best I had the whole year. Glowing. I was glowing. I really enjoyed it, and now I'm
rancid.
Duh, no. It's just the skin hasn't. Well, the skin is okay, but I didn't pop the way I did. But I wore this really like swoopy, like cream top, and I just felt like my skin looks amazing, and I just want to get back to that glow. I need to be in the sun every year.
You do. Every 2 months. This is why people get tans, isn't it? They get spray tans because they just want to feel glowy.
Yeah, but the tan will not be... I know actually black people do get tans.
Yeah, people do get...
But I want a natural tan. I want to feel the vitamin D on me. Not like that way. I just want to go out in the sun more. I feel like that. I feel like my body loves it.
Actually, yeah. I think that's normal. I feel like I need supposed to be in the sun.
Yeah, but also definitely check them out. Like go through my outfits, and maybe I'll hold until spring because like I'm just gonna be covering up for the next couple of months. But you know, we outside. You have to look cute.
Yeah, I love getting. Like I realise I don't get to dress up.
Yeah.
To go out as much anymore. Like now it's like, oh, I'm going out after work, so I'm wearing work clothes. Like,
exactly.
Basically, I'm like, how slutty can I dress and still be appropriate for work? Actually, when we were talking about the best dress thing, I was like, oh, what I like about the other person in the running is like, I feel like she can take risks because she doesn't have a lot of client-facing meetings. And I'm like, both the other two people I was talking to were like, you take risks. I was like, damn.
Oh my.
How am I wearing it into the office? And they were like, yeah, I was really worried that your entire vagina would be out. Like, what the hell?
Oh my god.
They never said that, but I was like, suddenly thinking, like, what have I been wearing to the office?
Yeah, what have you been wearing to the office? I feel like my outfits in the office, it's not consistent. Like, some days I go very casual. I'll go really casual, then throw on a blazer. Like, I'm trying to, like, look smart.
Done it.
Like, I look casual, but then smart. And then one day I'm like super coordinated, like pink on pink on pink, and I've got compliments. Those days when I go real coordinated, the compliments I get is like, oh my gosh, and then the next day, mess.
She used all of her energy on that one
outfit that I've been really wanting to wear, and then I can't repeat it, and then I repeat it again.
Yes, I think that's
what's
fair.
The point?
I had a thought and I've lost it. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's
fine. Clothes are great. We live for them.
Yeah, but
it is what it is.
It is what it is, yeah.
How did we even get to this? We started off talking about your children go to private school. I don't even know how we got here.
Because we talked about over the weekends.
Your outfit?
My outfit. But what was it? I don't know what we were talking
about.
I don't know. We'll figure it out when we listen back.
Yeah, listen lads, you know the vibes by now.
Yeah.
This is the part of the podcast where we
ramble. We're
the realest we ever are.
Honestly.
And now it's time for pop culture news.
Let's do it.
Pop culture news.
Yeah.
A bit Love Island heavy this week.
Yeah, because, you know.
We regret to announce the absolutely shocking development. Be serious because this is...
I know.
As soon as I heard it, I just stopped what I was doing and I had to take myself to a quiet corner and try and gather myself because I was just besides myself, honestly.
Nice.
And I really don't know how I'm going to get this out. Jess and Sammy of Love Island 2023, summer 2023, are no longer together.
I'm so sorry. Your condolences. What does the woman say in Bridgerton? Sorrows
and prayers.
Prayers. Yeah.
It's honestly just, if someone could tell me what happened, because I just can't see it. The two of them were a match made in heaven.
I mean, absolutely.
I saw them going all the way. I said, didn't I, see them having at least one or 4 children.
Yeah, but you said that they will be having 1 or 4 children based on this toxicity of their relationship.
And the fact that it's been 2 months and they've broken up.
Yeah, I think you're about right.
And in 2 months we'll hear that they're back together.
I think you're right on that. Because even Ekin-Su and Davide, they broke up, but then they got back together. So
did they?
Yeah, they did too. I was surprised, but yeah, they're back together.
Surprised.
So
they realised that they don't have any currency on their own.
100%, that's probably what happened. But also, I think it's I'll be perfectly honest. Jess and Sammy have really broken my expectations because my record for them was 6 months, and they've broken up in less than 3. So,
I mean, I feel like hearing this about Jess and Sammy, 2 people who are obviously the epitome of love, has broken all of our. Like, we were all of us thinking, if Jess and Sammy can't make it, can the rest of us make it?
I mean, a guy that drags you for filth.
Exactly, and that's how you know he loves you.
Absolutely.
Is when he tells everybody you're not his usual type and you're not the kind of girl that he finds attractive.
100%.
And that's why I was surprised they didn't stay together, because that is a recipe for success.
Yeah. Absolute disaster.
That is 2 people falling in love forever and staying together forever. And you could just see them, you know, in their rocking chairs. Then kids come up, Granny and Granddad, how did you meet? It's like, well, your gran was very ugly to me. And I was desperate to win a show, so I said, let's do it. It's been, 70 odd years?
I don't even know.
I can't get rid of her. She can't get rid of me.
There's no money in the world that would get me to do that.
There's no money in the world that would get me to... I don't even know what kind of lies I would have to tell myself to be like, yeah, I know he said he don't like me, but...
Deep down, he does.
I would have thought they would have broke up the minute she got home and watched all of Love.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's probably what happened. She was like, but then...
It's taken her 2 months.
Too much, because she had to get the money. The money had to be credited into her account, the prize money. And then they had the OK Magazine shoot. So then after all the little commitments, she was like, we're done. Which is so ironic that OK and all the English publications reached out to only the white couples that got together. And both of them either have broken up or on the verge of breaking up, because Molly and the other guy, Zachariah, they're also rumours that they're split.
Oh, who cares about those 2?
People did. They got their little spread.
I was going to say something really, really important about this. And what I think is really, really important
Go
is...
on.
I don't know what this means for Love Island. Because if your central couple break up after 2 months, is this really Love Island? Or is this Breakup Island?
Fam, it's every type of island bar love. It's Play Island, Lost Island.
Oh, I know what I was going to say.
Go on.
I'm sorry, why are we not getting real tension in the idea that they might just take the 50k for themselves? Nobody does it.
Because they removed the stealth aspect.
So you have to split it now?
Yeah, because before they used to have,
boring.
it's like a couple of years ago, they used to have the whole like, do you want to keep it for yourself or split? And then they had a little dilemma. But no one said split. It's only the only time I've seen someone take the money for themselves and run was F-Boy Island Series 1. And that was very good. Or was it maybe Series 2? It was one of the series. The guy was like, yeah, I'm going to keep the money for myself.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Amber should have done it.
Yeah, Amber should have 100% done it.
Jess should have done it. Had there been an option. Take the money because you earned it.
But I think the problem is like, there's a fear of the press, there's a fear of public
opinion. Oh, who cares?
And so you may win 50k, but you may lose hundreds of K from influencer deals after the villa. So you have to weigh up.
I'm not gonna lose 50k over potential.
I would probably split the money.
I'm not splitting the money with you. I don't like you.
Yeah.
In Amber's case, her and that guy have been together for 3 days.
Neither.
She could have taken that money and still got whatever she would have got afterwards. It was
true.
her. She earned it.
It's true.
They weren't giving it to him.
No. It was a pity win because Michael messed her up.
Yeah, and
so
she should have
bad.
taken it all.
Yeah.
And now she's a lesbian. So
This is the second. There's been a couple of different stories where like winners of heterosexual dating shows have come out either years later as being part of the LGBT plus community. Colton from The Bachelor, he was like one of the biggest surprises. What's her name? Gabby from the most recent series of The Bachelor as well, Bachelorette last year, and then Amber.
I personally feel like if you go back and watch their seasons, there probably are like massive clues. It was funny. I was watching an interview with Amber where she was like, "Yeah, if you watch my season, I'm like, I don't really like any of the guys here." And like it seems harmless in the like, oh, they're just not my type thing. But it's like, maybe she was like, there aren't any guys that are my type. There are no guys that are my type.
Get off this show. You don't need to be on this show then.
But if you don't know what it is, you think it's just, oh, I just haven't met the one yet. Why would you not go on the show? I personally am very proud that she won the season.
Same. I think she deserved it.
She deserved it.
That was as we talked about on previous episodes. That was a chaotic.
That was my season that really hooked me in.
That was, I think the season before or after that was the one that got me.
I remember watching that season and I was like, I don't know.
Wait, is it the one with Curtis and his hips? That's the same season, isn't it? Okay, that's the season that got me.
Curtis looking Amy in the eye when she said, I'll come back here to tell you I loved you.
I'm
he
sorry.
said, I'm the kind of person who likes to wake up and make everyone a cup of tea.
I'm sorry, nothing can beat Curtis when he was swinging his hips in the heartbeat challenge. My heart would have sunk if he came and did his jive and Latin dance and started swiveling his hips next to me.
I think the thing is, with Curtis.
Oh my God. Can you see your head?
The thing with Curtis, the meme of Curtis that stuck in my head is the one where his face is so red when he's talking to Amy and Amy's just laying into him like, I love you, I really see a future with you, and he's just sitting there like stony face, just like,
I'm burning here.
Well, it is what it is. The boys on that season, they were outrageous.
They were heartless. There was
2 days. 2 days. You asked me to book your girlfriend 2 days, and now I'm talking to this other girl. Oh my God, I was just talking to her. The boys are mad. Destiny's Childish, mad.
That's how Destiny's Childish was formed on that season. A good chunk of those people, the members of Destiny's Childish, is from that season.
Literally.
And then this season.
The girl that Michael then coupled up with to leave Amber got booted off the show. And he was like, oh, I'm gonna really miss you. So like, if you really miss me, why don't you leave the show with me? And he was like, well, let's not get crazy. Like, they said you go, and they said I have to go.
That was so funny.
And then she slapped him.
Oh yeah, she did. Wow, that was,
you guys are funny.
So chaotic.
A man that you stole from someone else, you're surprised that he doesn't want to leave the show with you.
You get them how you lose them, or you lose them how you get them.
Literally, the show. Honestly, that was a height.
That was a good
of
season.
Love Island. And then it lost the plot.
Yeah, I don't know what. And then the last one, this most recent one, had a lot of that drama.
Yeah,
the cast came to
the producers were producing
really hard. I really feel like this year there's been a lot of really great producer moments. Like Love is Blind Series 5, for however it will end up, I cannot deny that the first 4 episodes was some of the best reality TV I've seen in a long time.
It's hard though. Like Love is Blind is a hard one because the top half of this season in comparison to the second half of the season, it's just so mismatched.
Yeah.
Like there's just nothing going on. And it's because they allowed the producing up front to be so good that they've ended up with 2 couples.
Yeah, it's messed.
That's not enough time to make. I'm honestly flabbergasted that they've managed to spin 8 episodes out of 2 couples that are so boring and so obviously not right for each other.
I know.
It's just like every time they cut between the two of them, I'm like, please, can we talk to anyone else?
I think
I'd rather you just cut to like a new season.
I know. I think the episodes that have just come out, and I think maybe by this point, I don't know. It may not have finished by this point. They're so boring. I then realised, oh my goodness, we are just watching 2 couples just go at it, and like I don't care.
You don't care.
But apparently
not invested in either one of them.
Yeah, but apparently there was supposed to be a 3rd couple, but they cut them out. It was the Carter, the fish guy.
Yeah.
And then this blonde girl, So they got married. They even went to Mexico, and the producers cut them out of those scenes, but you can see some glimpses of them.
Why? I would love to know why.
Something happened. Maybe they got, because I think they also got to the aisle, but they didn't get married.
But why not just show it? Because up until the thing that happens.
Something must have happened maybe afterwards, where, because there was rumors
that he was abusive.
No, that she had a boyfriend before she joined. But that's, for me, you can still show that, and
that's
then the reunion, you can just bring the reunion, just drag it out, yeah. Because I don't know. Because if they do after the altar with this season, I don't care to watch, because it's just two people going, we may be married or we may not be married, we don't know yet. And then Uche coming back to argue with Lydia again. Like, who cares?
Leave me alone. You're obsessed with me.
And then Aaliyah being like, I want you back. Girl, please.
Aaliyah, get up.
Please.
That's what... Aaliyah unhinged. Uche unhinged. Lydia unhinged. They were the only three people that this triangle could happen to, because all of you are crazy. Not one of you sane.
Then there was Johnny, and Chris. They were together in this most recent batch, but I've heard that they are not together now. Chris was dumb, man. Don't go back to her.
Chris.
But I felt sorry for him. He would have...
No, at some point you have to be like, you are actually actively choosing the wrong people. I don't know what to tell you.
Exactly. I don't know. If there was a speed dating event that is like Love is Blind-esque, where you talk to people in the pods, and then you just like speed date, would you do it?
Sure. What?
I felt so excited to talk about this. I think it probably exists already, but...
as in you were like, you figure you've come up with a concept.
Yeah.
But I think the thing with that is
I know it's not real. I know there's probably events like this out there anyway.
I think the idea of the pods is that because you build up such a relationship with this person, the idea is once you reveal them and they're not exactly who you think you are in your head, because you've got a relationship, you might stick it out.
Yeah.
Whereas in this, if we speak for 10 minutes and I'm like, oh, the vibe's good, then they reveal your face, I'm like, oh, that'll be the end of that.
Ladies, reveal yourself. Although men, reveal yourself and take me out. Yeah, you know what, it's true. But then you can hold on hope that little spark. That little
maybe I'll write your name down, but let's keep it moving. Who else is here today? Like, what?
We did say that we would do speed
or vice
dating.
versa. Maybe you're like, yeah, I like him.
Yeah,
Then he's
true.
like, oh, sorry, I don't date blacks. Oh.
Whitey.
Literally, that's what you think. If you're black, there's nothing for you. Anyway, let me go to the next. Oh my god. A hate crime.
Honestly.
This was a hate crime.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
So
okay.
yeah, I would try it. I just think that like you are probably having the same.
Yeah.
But maybe it would work for people who are like too hot.
Yeah, true.
Who are like, every time I go on speed dating things, people just write my name down, write my number down. They're not even trying to hear what I'm saying because they're like, he's so gorgeous. Hot. I am a person with a soul. I have thoughts and feelings. I like Thomas the Tank Engine. And nobody ever asked me.
I'm so sorry.
And you need to know before you find out you're married to a man who likes toy trains.
Oh, God.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
But going back to Love Island, they are also launching Love Island All-Stars, which I don't know if that will have the same effect that like Drag Race All-Stars has.
Yeah.
Which is that everybody comes back bigger and better.
I think that's what they're trying to imply, but they will bring...
Scott was on it 2 seconds ago.
I know, so, yeah, Scott was on it, but then they have some real, like, oldies.
Yeah. Which I don't really want to see.
Neither do I.
Because they must be 30 now.
And? Aren't we?
I'm not on Love Island. Please.
But also, I think for me, I find it hard to call it Love Island when they all just talk about playing games. It sounds like it's a competition of games, and there may be a chance you can find love, but it's just, to me, it's just like it's like Wipeout and Love Island mixed together.
I actually feel like someone should launch a show like that, right? Where it's a competition show, ostensibly, yeah.
Yeah.
But you're all hot, and you basically are picking a husband based on who has the exact same competitive experience.
I mean, wasn't that what show was that? Oh my gosh, I swear there was a reality show I watched last year. Wasn't that like Perfect Match?
Yeah, but they don't really play games.
They did kind of had like little games.
But in your match,
yeah,
the whole thing. I'm talking about every challenge. They're mixing you up.
Yeah.
So you're like, in the confession, like, yeah, we didn't win this challenge. I just feel like The person I work best with is Sean. I can't wait to get back into a couple with Sean. So me and Sean in the game.
Oh my
Me and
gosh.
Sean love games. With two people who love games, with Sean and me. But then you find out Sean's like, actually worked quite well with Lydia. So I don't want to get back with you. Heartbreaking.
Wow. You're going to do me like that?
The next challenge is a rock climbing challenge. Lydia can climb rocks. You can't.
Wow.
It's all about the game, baby.
I just, yeah.
Sure, you break my heart.
I know. And also it's like, maybe they're trying to have the vibe of like a Too Hot to Handle, Love Island, games type of thing. I just don't know if it's going to resonate. And also it's on Peacock in the US. So who knows when we're going to see it.
The Love Island franchise is all over the place.
It is. All over the... I know.
Barely get itself together. Like,
yeah. I just feel like it needs... Like the things
who's
that...
going on Peacock to watch that?
No. I mean, the individuals...
Where is it on in America at the moment? Peacock?
Peacock,
Right,
yeah.
that makes more sense.
Yeah, sorry. It's a Peacock original. So it's going to have... I mean, Maya Jama is hosting, so they're going to keep some of that consistency. And I'm imagining What's-His-Face is going to do the VO... Ian
Sterling.
Sterling, right?
Yeah, well, you got the surname wrong, and I got the first name
What's his first
You
surname?
said Chris Stealing.
Sterling.
Ian Stealing. You said, and I said Chris Sterling.
I have the most awkward, talking of saying things wrong, because you know sometimes I do. I am struggling to say the word, you know the mango drink, Rubicon?
Yeah.
I called it Rubicon.
Why? Because you thought it was an A, or because you knew it was an O?
No, because I said it wrong. I said it wrong one time this week. I mean, it's Black History Month, so the fridges have been stocked up with black
This feels
drinks.
racial.
Oh, no, the stories that continue. So I said Rubicon one time by mistake when I was talking to my sister, and then in the office, I was like, someone was like, "Oh, did you see that there's Supermart?" No, I said there's Supermart in the fridge, and also Rubicon. And then there was another person in the lift who is not black, and was like, "Oh, there's Rubicon."
That's so embarrassing.
And then the other woman that I was speaking to originally, she's black, and she was like, "Oh yeah, in the kitchen they also had patties, but they finished." I was like, "Oh my gosh, there's patties!" And then the non-black person who was in the thing, who said Rubicon's based on what I just said, also said, "You know, you should argue and fight because you know that's your culture." And I'm like,
what the hell is going on? What's happening here? That is a hate crime.
The thing is, I am not Jamaican. No, I am not Jamaican.
This is a hate crime.
Yeah, she is.
We were talking about microaggressions today. That's a hate.
No, I'm 100% Nigerian, and I mean, I didn't know what to say. I just laughed.
Are you 100% Nigerian?
I know, but
Yeah, don't lie
no,
on the
okay, I'm
pod.
sad about-
Don't lie on the pod.
what was it called?
75.
A bit more than that, maybe 80%, 80-90% Nigerian.
That's gone up to 90.
I don't know what's 1/8. Oh, 12%. So I'm 12. Is it 12.75?
82 what? You're
8
12%
no,
Nigerian.
No, 12.75% Sierra Leonean
Yes, you're.
and 87.25% Nigerian. But also I'm a bit British as well, so I can't help that.
But you're not actually, are you?
Okay, let's not have this discussion. We've done it before.
You're not though.
But I was born and raised in
Yeah, so was I. But you're not. That doesn't affect your genes.
But it affects my identity.
Genetically-
My identity.
As in genetically, where are you from? You said I'm 100%.
Well, my mum was
Nigerian.
born here. So
I was talking about this morning. Let's not get into
No,
it.
that's-
but you
that's
kinda-
not-
That just because you were born here doesn't change your genetics.
That's
like you saying,
okay, sorry.
I was born here.
Let me correct.
I should be white.
Let me correct this. I think it's not affected my heritage, but it's definitely affected my identity.
Sure.
Yeah, I can't help it. I am British.
I'm not arguing with you.
Yeah. And actually, the colonizers were British and both Nigeria and Sierra
So
Leone.
what, now you're a colonizer? Is that what we're saying? Is that what we want to do in Black History Month? We want to align ourselves with colonizers? I don't know. If
I
that's what
don't
we
know,
wanna do.
and I do not want to. I'm not aligning myself with colonizers. We're gonna have to move on from this. What I'm gonna say. Well, how did we get to know? Oh yeah, basically, I am now saying Rubicon. I'm not saying Rubicon
Why are we talking about this?
because I was saying about saying the wrong names because we said Ian Sterling.
Perfect.
But moving back to Love Island, we'll just have to wait and see when it comes out. I don't even know when it's coming out.
Who's gonna see it? Do you have Peacock?
No, I'm gonna wait until it comes on to ITV. Yeah, they have to put the ITV because we don't have Peacock. Oh wait, they do have Peacock in the UK.
They do.
But the thing is, that from what I remember, the Peacock is so delayed that.
We'll get it 8 years from now.
Yeah, exactly.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
Scott.
I feel...
Sorry, at this point, is Scott homeless? And I said, do you know what? That's actually very funny to me.
That's probably true.
Because he is true. Do you
It's
not
true.
have a job or nothing?
No. And also...
You don't want to be in your house like the rest of us.
No.
I love being at home.
I know. And every time he shows up on these shows, he's bulky and he's becoming more and more bulky because he's not actually being able to eat healthily, exercise, not be in front of the TV. So the guy's just, becoming heavy.
This is the second time someone sung this song recently, and I really feel like you guys need to get
Who was the other person?
A friend of mine and I went to see a film that was a musical, and he was like, I don't like musicals. And I was like, what? He was like, no, the only good musical is
Dreamgirls.
Yeah. I was like, that's not true. He was like, think about it. This musical didn't have like the big set piece. I was like, what's the big set piece in Dreamgirls? He was like...
I'm telling you.
He's like, obviously, I'm telling you, but also heavy. And I was like, you know what? You're right. Heavy is the
Heavy
big set
was
piece.
not the big centerpiece. There were so many good songs.
No, but that's the one that you sang. You
Yeah,
haven't sang I'm telling you once on this podcast.
No, but I've
this
been...
is the second time you mentioned that.
But the thing, I've always said that Dreamgirls is one of my favourite musicals because it's the one I can quote the most. You can't kill a man with soul.
Exactly. And you never quote, and I am telling you.
Yeah, maybe not with you, but I've definitely with my siblings.
Well,
when they're about to leave. Actually, no, that's Don't Walk Away From Me, Whitney Houston.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, in short, the song of the film is heavy.
No, but what's the other song?
I think it's Jimmy Got Soul.
I think it's Jimmy Got Soul too. And there's another song. What's the one that no, not the one that Beyonce stole from the girl.
We are a family.
Like a giant tree, branching out towards the sky.
That song sounds.
That was a good song. Oh, when Sorrel or whatever her name is, bro, and Jimmy love Jimmy through. I would if I was breaking up with someone. In my head, I would love to sing to them.
You're sick. That is not how my brain works at all. I'm trying to get out of here, so I'm not being like, and I he just called me a hoe and told me to leave his house about I'm not going.
Also, if a guy was singing a song to me, I would be like squirming, I'd be like, no, don't sing to me.
This is a hate crime.
Even if you were singing something amazing, even if you were serenading me, I'd be like, oh no.
I honestly can't think of anything worse than that. I honestly can't think
serenade.
of anything worse than that. If my partner was like trying to propose to me in any way that was creative, where he was like
guitar,
so don't even say if he said the word guitar, I actually feel like I would not date a man if he said he could play the guitar.
What if we could?
I don't want anybody to play any instruments because I don't want the threat of you singing a song to me.
What if you could do spoken word? I think I would prefer music than a spoken word. Maybe so close the door. I am so confused.
If it was like that, I would accept.
But with the hand gestures as well. I think if we could play a lyricless song, but dedicate it to me, I would love that.
Classical music then. Why don't you just play it on your phone? Why are we even sitting here watching you badly playing you haven't played the piano in 18 years being like, this is for you. Ding dong, ding dong, ding 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 dong. Okay. He was like, no, give me a sec. Because I'm good at it. I really hurt. It's like, it's been an hour, babe.
What if he can play and then brings up the recorder?
If it sounds good, I mean, the recorder never sounds good.
He's like, I can make the recorder slap. 1 minute.
Music is so... It's so, like...
But the thing, I love music.
I love music. But like, I either like it or don't. And I feel like, if you knew... Like, if you played me a song I liked, that's one thing. But when you're like, I wrote this for you, there is a 50% chance I'm going to hate this. And a 50% chance I'm going to like this. But there is no middle ground where I'm just like, that was fine. No, I'm in hell for the whole thing.
What if you like you got married and then it's like at the reception he's like, I want to give this surprise to my wife, and then he starts singing. I mean, actually, no, I'll be cringing.
At the rehearsal,
I'll cringe so hard.
At the rehearsal, when he was like, and this will be the bit where I do the song. I'll be like, this will be the bit where you do what? Remove every microphone from this place. Remove all the sound systems. You'll have to sing a cappella and hope that it can reach the back of the room. If you really want to embarrass yourself, that's it. That's the only way. And me personally, I'll be going to the bathroom for that whole bit.
Oh my gosh. Do you know what I always find
I need to wee.
What I always find nerve-wracking and a little bit cringy is like speech, like the speeches at weddings, not cringy, but like always a bit nervous for them because it's like everyone's silent and
their hands are always shaking.
Their hands are always shaking, and there's so nervous. One of my friends' wedding, he did a lovely speech. He wrote everything down, but you could tell how nervous he was, and I was like I was almost holding my heart for him because I felt so like sad, but he got through it, and he was very, very serious.
When I did the reading at our friend's wedding, I genuinely thought I sounded like this. I felt like I could feel my heart beating in my chest.
But you were fine, like But yeah.
Just pretend you're okay.
Yeah,
like
you're
I
fine.
do.
Yeah, you were fine. It's good.
I always feel like the cringy bit would be getting the paper out of your pocket and being like, Jason, when I first met you, I was nothing. I was really a shit on someone's shoe. You taught me to love. You taught me to be a woman. You taught me how to have a good time in more ways than one.
Oh my gosh!
I want to say such meaningful words in the first line. I don't want
everyone
all
there
these
like
people listening.
Oh, is that true, Marnie?
You
rock my world.
You did that thing that was really interesting to me, and now it's my favourite thing. What are you doing? Also, the priest of love. Anyway.
Yeah, there is everything. I'm like, oh really? Oh, did you?
So embarrassing. And then you have to kiss them.
Yeah, I think it's the kissing part. I'm like, woo. It would be one peck on the cheek, on my hand.
We would go into each other like we were gonna make out, and then just be like.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
because nothing makes me more uncomfortable when you can see the lead up is gonna be like, oh god, they're gonna be kissing.
Or they kiss and then like the little dip as well, and like, oh god, that kiss is not for me. That kiss is not for you guys. It was for us, so we can be like, woo, go, yeah.
Yeah, I think everything about a wedding is cringy. Yeah. I think the only reason why you agree to do it is because you are so in love and so excited.
I know, because everyone else wants the wedding for you.
Yeah, if you were even a little bit doubtful, I don't know how you could perform that whole thing. Yeah, true. And now's the part where he's gonna get the gutters from his wife, and you're gonna have to sit in front of everybody and watch this person put his head up your skirt.
That's what I think.
In front of your parent.
I think that's why you don't hear a lot of people break, like, you know, the things you see on TV where, you know, if the priest goes, if anyone objects, speak now or forever hold your peace. You don't really see a lot of that happening because by the time you get to the wedding, you should be bank assured, like, this is the decision I want to do. This is we are doing this. We've put our money together. We planned this. We are getting married. Yeah. You don't really hear as many breakups at the wedding or so close to the wedding. But there's some that do have the cold feet, but it's not as often as you would think.
Yeah. For when I've gone and like put on a dress.
Yeah.
In front of my like friends and family. That's when it's starting to feel real. If that would be the point where I'd be like, if I'm not feeling it, let's pack it up.
Yeah.
But we await the Love Island All-Stars.
Yeah.
Shall we get to our review of the week?
Let's do it.
So the review of the week is The Other Black Girl on Hulu, and which is available on Disney Plus here.
Yeah.
It is based on the novel The Other Black Girl, written by Zakiya Dalila Harris, who also created the series alongside Rashida Jones of Parks and Rec fame. She also did an episode of Black Mirror.
Oh, she
did the Nosedive one with Bryce Dallas Howard.
You've known these ones more than I do.
And Rashida Jones is also the daughter of Quincy Jones.
Yeah.
So, it is simple premise about a woman who works at a publishing house. She's the only black woman at the publishing house. She's the assistant to an editor, and she feels like she's been grafting for the past 2 years, and she's ready to take the step up to become an assistant editor. Yeah. Another black girl joins the company, and they sort of hit it off very quickly. As they are getting to know each other, our main character, Nella, tells the new girl, Hazel, that she doesn't think that the book that they're about to publish is safe for black people. It contains a stereotype that's not great.
Yeah.
Hazel advises her to say something to the writer, tease her up to do it as well at the book launch party, and Nella puts her foot in the mouth For good reason. She's right. It sounds like it is a harmful stereotype, but it gets her in trouble and she, almost loses her job. And at that point, the series kicks off as a can there be two black girls in a workplace type of show. Which
has been a big issue in most corporate environments that have limited people of colour in the office.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And before we go into the way the rest of the series pans out, I just wanted to flag earlier in the show, as in this podcast, we talked about book adaptations being adapted by the authors.
Yeah.
And this is one that falls into that category.
Yeah.
I also wanted to flag that a book that treats that topic, i.e. what it's like to be the only black woman in office and then to feel like you're competing with when a new black woman joins, would not have sold for $1 million at auction because it would have felt too worthy. And this, which sort of takes that premise and sort of elevates it into something deluded and confusing and just wacky.
Yeah.
Like, the wackiness of it is not a bad thing.
Yeah, it was giving me the whole Us vibe. What's that guy's name? The guy who created Us. Jordan Peele, Get Out. It was giving me that kind of vibe when I saw the advert and trailer for it. That's why I thought it was where it was going.
It's also reminding me so much of this film called Bad Hair.
Yes, I've heard about it.
That film is actually very good. I've watched it twice. I mean, it's wacky, but like, as in, it's wacky from the jump.
Yeah.
I think the problem with this, as we will get into it, is that it opens, even though you kind of get which comes to nothing now that I've got to the end of the series, I realise it comes to nothing. But from the beginning, Nella's kind of being haunted by the ghost of the last black editor at this company, at Wagner Publishing, who edited her favourite novel and then disappeared. Nobody saw her. And I was like, it's not clear whether this is she's being haunted or if this is entirely in her head. They never actually address it again. I thought that's what the show is building to. Like, there's some sort of supernatural presence in this place. And that's what happens in Bad Hair. Is that, like, this woman takes a job at an office, but she has her natural hair. There was a group of women that are excelling in the office, but they will have weave.
Yeah.
So she wants to excel in the office, and her boss gives her a number, says, go to this place and get this weave. She gets the weave, and she immediately gets promoted. This guy that she has a crush on at work suddenly looks at her. Her life is going well, but her scalp is itching so much, and the weave pretty much is alive and has a life of its own and feasts on blood and wants to kill people.
It's a comedy, right?
It's a comedy horror.
Yeah. Because also with this show, it got to about episode 3 or 4, and I sat there. I normally do talking to my TV, going, "What is this show? What's the genre? Is it a drama? Is it a comedy? Is it a horror? I don't know." And it's not like I need it to be in a box that I can tick, but I just need to have some clarity of what is this, because it's not clear at all. It
wasn't. So yeah, going back to the comparison between Bad Hair and
the other black girl.
The other black girl is that, like, Bad Hair is very clearly a horror that's supernatural. You're gonna get there's silliness in it because it's a comedy.
Because it really feels silly.
But there is also a commentary at the heart of it, which is like that in the 80s there was a real push for black women to westernize themselves as much as possible if they wanted to get ahead. Like, those were the women that people worshipped, not the women with natural hair, and it felt like that's what you need to do to get ahead. But imagine if the hair that you went and put on your head was haunted, right? And in this,
it feels like a Nollywood film. I feel like Nollywood could do this as
they
a
probably could
and do it really well.
No, they would not have the graphics. Honey, the graphics.
Yeah, but that's what. But that's
garbage.
what. But that's what.
Whereas
I
the
like about
graphics in Bad Hair are good.
Okay.
Whereas in this, I feel like the issue is you're not quite sure if this is a show about a woman being haunted by a dead editor. If this is a show about a woman being two women in a battle of wits trying to outdo each other. This is a show about a woman being stalked
Yeah.
by another woman.
Because that was implied in a couple of the episodes, yeah.
Or if this is a show about two women being used by some big white corporation that is trying to make black women fight each other. There was a lot of things that
and also
it could have been.
And also I wasn't even also sure, is like, is this about a story about a woman obsessed, like going back to the talk about obsessed with another woman to the point of like in love with her, trying to make her like her. I was confused. I was confused where it was going.
And it kind of pivoted as each episode went. And I'm with you. I was at maybe episode 3 or 4 and I was like, 1, this isn't funny.
Yes.
Which is, I feel like, the only thing, like, you can keep shifting the perspective of your show as much as you want, but I feel like you need to deliver on one thing consistently.
Yeah.
And this isn't funny.
Exactly.
Like, it just isn't funny. 2...
Because I think that's what the trailer... Sorry to jump in, but that's where I was confused by the trailer, because the trailer was giving me comedy vibes. Like, let's be honest, we can both say we have been the only black girl in the office, and when another black girl comes in or someone of colour comes in, there are some funny things that have happened. Like, so I don't know why my big assumption was like, this drama, whatever this is going to be a comedy. And that was my first instinct. And then I saw some of the horror notes come in towards the end of the trailer, and I was thinking, okay, maybe this is going to be like a Jordan Peele Get Out type of thing.
And Get Out is funny.
And Get Out is funny. Like, let's be honest. Like, the sunken place. Some people are in the sunken place, and the sunken place is serious, but it's also hilarious. Like, let's not lie. So, yeah, continue. Sorry.
So yes, it doesn't. It just struggled to find where it was genre wise, and it didn't deliver on what I feel like it could have got away with the sort of genre shifting if it was at least funny and you felt like, okay, well, the consistency in this world is that my main character, Nella, is funny, right? And maybe you can shift the perspective by saying that, like, she views her life in different genres depending on what's going on.
Yeah.
So when Hazel first comes in, it's a battle of wits.
Yeah.
Then when she starts to realise that Hazel maybe isn't who she says he is, it becomes a bit of a horror. Then when she realises that there is a big conspiracy going on, it becomes a stalking show. Whatever it was. Like, you could have pivoted it if you felt like you were with Nella, but I just didn't really get a sense of who Nella was, aside from a person with a job. And I feel like there are shows out there that do a really good job of being about work while still creating three-dimensional characters. And this, for me, just felt like this person, the character of Nella, has been created so we can explore a theme and a conversation, not because Nella is a person that the writer was so drawn to that they had to tell their story.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. I think there were at times where they were trying to add a bit of depth to her character with, like, the flashbacks with, I'm gonna say it, the friend, where Nella was supposed to be studying she studied in Harvard.
That wasn't Nella.
Who the hell was that?
That was Kendra, the editor. All those flashbacks are Kendra and
God, I did not even...
Diana's memories.
Oh,
They're
that makes
not
so
hers.
much sense, because fam, I did not know. I didn't know what those flashbacks were referring to, because they kept on flashing back and then flashing back forward to Nella. Well, that makes a whole lot of sense. Scrap what I just said. Continue.
But you're right.
We could have really benefited if that was Nella's story, I would just say.
I think you're right. I think your confusion is completely valid, because when you tell a story from a perspective, right? And it feels like we are in Nella's perspective in this story.
The whole time.
So having a flashback to two characters that aren't Nella, that Nella wouldn't even be privy to, breaks with the form of the story that you're trying to set up, because now you're giving us information that only we are privy to. Nella can't see this. Your sharing that with us comes to nothing as well.
The only time I've felt, and I've seen that in some series where it's been beneficial that there's a flashback and there's a completely different character or different world, was like Atlanta. Like Atlantis, the last season, where each episode was like a different character, and, you know, it felt like it all kind of added up towards the end, but it was fine that you switched between it. But there was I didn't feel that groundedness in the series, so I didn't really understand why we were flashing back. And that context wasn't theirs.
Atlanta can get away with the difference between what Atlanta did and what this is doing is Atlanta wasn't presenting a narrative across a series.
Yeah.
It's an episodic show.
Yeah.
Equally, within each episode, if there are flashbacks, it pertains to the story. It's not flashbacks that pertain to someone else's story that we will then not explore in this episode.
Yeah, that's true.
That's not how you tell stories. Like, imagine you would even telling a story like a simple, like, man goes to the shop, he buys some milk, and he goes home. But you tell the story, man goes to the shop, he buys some milk. An old lady gets hit by a car, but the man doesn't see that. And then he goes home. Why did you tell me about the old lady being hit by a car? It's got nothing to do with anything.
Yeah.
Why have you told us this? And I was waiting for this to come to some sort of thing where it's like, Nella is Kendra.
Yeah.
Or Nella is the daughter of something that made these memories more distinct to Nella. And now that we're talking about it, I'm thinking maybe they were trying to be like, there's a mirror between Nella and Hazel's relationship and Diana and Kendra's relationship, but there isn't.
Yeah.
Because Diana and Kendra's relationship, based on those memories, was Diana and Kendra grew up together. Kendra went to Harvard. At Harvard, Kendra didn't feel like she fit in.
Yeah.
Diana was like, I feel fine, actually, and if you want, you can always come home. Then Kendra gets a job at Wagner. Diana comes in one day, meets the boss of Wagner, and manages to get him to invite them out for lunch. Then her book gets published by Wagner. She's also fucking the boss. I don't get what went so wrong.
Yeah.
Or what happened. Like, they just missed a chunk between Diana meeting the boss and Diana's book becoming the most popular thing.
That came out,
and what that did to her relationship with Kendra. And that would have been more interesting, surely, for us to understand why to try and build some sort of, who should we trust in this story? Yeah. Diana or Kendra?
Yeah.
They didn't really do that. They didn't do that. And then when we finally meet Diana, we don't have an episode in her perspective to explain the flashbacks.
Yeah.
She's just there.
Yeah, when she came on and she's one of the Real Housewives now. She has such a really lovely French surname, Beauvau, I think. I was so confused at that point. I was just like, oh, what's she doing here? And then, oh, she's in a relationship with Richard, but
Well, she's not in a relationship with Richard. They're having an affair.
They're having an affair, but I felt, like you said, it has so much potential to be quite an interesting and in-depth, multifaceted story. But because it didn't have any links, everything felt like on one level. And so when you got to the end of the realization that it was based on around like kind of a cult, like kind of, I'm still not even 100% sure what the ending was about, apart from like dangerous hair grease, like blue magic gone wrong. I just don't know what to get from this show.
So let's quickly run through the plot.
Yeah, sorry.
So, because you're going to be sitting there thinking, what has hair grease got to do with anything? And that was exactly my thought too. So,
her name is Garcelle Beauvais.
So, in the show, after Hazel arrives and Nella makes a fool of herself, Hazel comes back and apologises and, really, really wants to be friends with Nella, and Nella has had an idea that they should get the racist book, a sensitivity reader, to read the racist book and tell them if it's racist.
I was going to say, as someone who works in development, and sorry to backtrack, do you get sensitivity reads on your scripts and stuff like that?
No, because
you're supposed to be sensitive. Yeah.
But one thing I will say, now you mentioned that, one, I don't know what it is about certain industries that I have some sort of proximity to, but like, there's something about the realities of TV or film or books or whatever is, you don't, basically the idea that she's like constantly talking about her favourite book and has her favourite book in her bag and
When she reads it and her boyfriend's like, you're reading, comfort reading for the same book.
Just like, that is not the reality of people. Like, if you truly work in the industry like that, the last thing you want to see is a book.
Yeah, same.
The last thing I want to see when I get home is a drama.
Like,
I want to watch reality TV. I don't want to watch those things.
Like I work in TV. I work on hard-hitting dramas and a range of different shows. When I come back, I want to watch trash.
I want to watch trash.
I want to watch short-form content on TikTok. I don't want to watch a 30-minute drama.
Like, I don't have that attention span
The
for
fact that so many people told me that I have to watch The Sopranos, and I'm like, the idea of having to sit down and watch The Sopranos, my head is not there for it. Have you ever finished watching Game of Thrones?
So
that's my issue.
Yeah, so there's that, and then there's also that thing of like, when Diana comes in, they're like, we should do a republish of your book. We should republish your book. And she's like, when you wrote your book, it spoke to me. I was a 15-year-old girl growing up in Connecticut, did this whole heartfelt. I've never once in my life, while I've worked in this industry, met somebody who changed my life so profusely that I felt the need to invigorate them.
Yeah.
With a speech about how their thing moved me.
I mean,
it doesn't happen like that.
Do you feel that if you saw the following, A, Michaela Cole, B, Issa Rae, or 3 Shonda Rhimes, you want to have a moment?
In a work capacity?
Maybe work drinks, they're there.
And
by chance, it's just you and them.
Work drinks, I'd be like, it's, I'm pinching myself that we get to work together. Yeah. But in the capacity when you come in for a meeting,
no.
I'm going to be like,
can
I just say, that's such an American thing. Every American show is like this. In real life, maybe it's because we're British, but we wouldn't do this. But I've just never seen anyone be like, sorry, I know we're in the middle of this, but I have to say something. You inspire me. When I watched your show, Dirty Girls Go Wild, like, I'm just trying to think, like, there's nobody, there is no, when I first saw the Mighty Boosh, like, I was just thinking, wow, this show's fucking crazy. And now I get to meet you. That's crazy. Like, I'm not going to do that. And then we're going to continue the meeting and they're going to try and work with me as a professional.
That's hilarious. Not in the office, no. I think it's an American thing, 100%.
They love those big, I don't...
For me, the only time I would even be close to saying something like that in the office is that we finished the meeting. We're walking towards the lift where I can take you to the ground floor. As we're walking down, I'm like, I just want to say thank you so much for that amazing meeting. You're incredibly inspiring. Full stop.
And then walk away. Don't even wait for them to say thank you. Just and run off. Bomb it
out of the door.
You just push them out of the lift as you're saying it.
Like, God bless, and out of it.
The lift doors don't close, we're just staring at each other. Okay, this is awkward. Yeah, or you do the really polite thing up top of the meeting. It's like, we just want to say, huge fans.
Done, yes.
Whenever, like, wow, where were we both when we first watched those videos? Like, I was actually 14 years old, throwing up because I was ill that day off school. I think it must be raining, and my mother said, lie down, have some rest, watch a YouTube video. And when I pressed on it, like, shut the fuck up!
I mean, I do have to say, if I ever had the meeting with Issa Rae, I'm going to have to find a way to slip in an awkward black girl.
You know what? I know exactly what I'd say to her. Where was White J? Because she did the opposite of the song. She said, if you're white, there's nothing for you. But if you're black, there's something for you. And that's not fair. White J didn't do nothing to that.
I mean, that is definitely a valid question. Because why did we get White J Insecure?
Where is he?
Why didn't Issa... No. Why didn't Issa like date White J in series 1 when she broke up with Lawrence?
Like he could have date her, but not even to do a cameo.
Yeah, he could have done like one of those compilations where she was on dates, because she dated so many different people, and she dated that old white guy as well.
He could have been her building manager or something.
Yeah, but she get the building manager to the other guy, the office dude that always mumbled.
The quiet guy.
The mumble guy.
Yeah, even he got to be in there.
Yeah,
I just think it's crazy.
Even the white woman that was the old boss.
Yeah,
she was in it as well.
I think YJ must have done something.
I thought YJ was done with acting. He was
maybe
like,
he's like, I'm a farmer.
Yeah, because what was part of that? YJ was nice. Anyway, it was a missed opportunity. We really could have done with YJ.
I think it would just been really complete the cinematic universe if White J was in it.
Oh yeah, okay. And you could have put him in the finale. Like no one would have cared. He could have even dated Molly.
Is her name Jay in the show?
No, it's Issa.
No, in All Good Black Girl.
Yeah, she's Jay.
Yeah,
she's
because
Jay.
he's White Jay. Yeah, I'm trying to remember why he was
she's
called White Jay.
Jay.
But yeah, going back to this, where there was
Such
no
a
White
good
Jay.
show.
There was another that just really bothered me. The other thing that really bothered me is that thing of like, the smartest person in the room is the assistant. No.
Come on, be for real.
No, the smartest person in the room is not. The amount, first of all, the amount of all hands meetings that they have is crazy. Yeah. I work in a company and we are in a same room once a week. And even then, we don't have everybody in that room because some people just can't make it, or they have other meetings, or they don't need to be in there, or they come in for 10 minutes and they go, "Do you know what, fuck, this is boring." They had 40 meetings constantly. Yeah. And the assistants are there, I'm assuming to take notes. They never took one single note. And in the middle of this conversation, where apparently not one person at this company knows how to run the company, here comes Nella. I actually had an idea. Bitch, sit down. If my assistant was chatting that, I get it. You need to support people, let them grow, blah, blah, you know, don't say. You're embarrassing me.
Yeah, there's a time and place.
I could get behind the idea that Nella, in her relationship with Bellamy Young, whose character I can't remember the name of now.
Neither can I.
But it was very nice to see her.
Same. And also nice to see the guy from Will and Grace. He was great.
He was lovely.
He looked so lovely.
I was like,
I know.
Okay.
She
Zaddy.
I know. Bellamy Young was played Vera.
Yeah.
And Zaddy played Richard. Let me see how old he is now. He's 60. He looked good for 6 years. He did.
Yeah, if I could absolutely buy the idea that in the relationship between Vera and Nella, Nella is keeping Vera afloat.
Yeah.
So like when Vera goes into the all hands meeting and says, "I've had an idea. Why don't we do sensitivity training, sensitivity reading?" And actually Nella's the one who gave her the idea. I could buy that. That's what the nature of their relationship is. They have a conversation. Nella gives her a good idea, and then Vera steals it. Yeah. Well, doesn't steal it. That's what you do.
Yeah.
We had a conversation. I'm your boss. I'm gonna proffer it to the room because your job in here is to take notes.
Yeah.
But I just couldn't get around the fact that it was always Nella who had like the big bright idea.
Yeah.
Was starting to make me feel like this isn't a real workplace.
No.
So
of course, it definitely wasn't a real workplace. That scene where she's like walking around the same corridor 3,000 times because she sees the previous black editor funny. Each time. I was like, come on.
I like that as a sequence.
That was giving me the Get Out vibes that I needed at that
But
point.
what I couldn't work out is this what Nella is actually experiencing, or is this just a fantasy sequence that you put in the show? Because she never addresses it. No. Like, Nella is never like, I think I'm losing my mind.
No.
Sometimes when I'm in the office on my own, I hear a noise. Yeah. I see voices. I hear voices. I see things.
I mean, she saw voices. That would be incredible as well.
She sees sound. That I could have would have been some kind of explanation, but like they just never talk about it.
No.
So it's like, is this really happening, or is it just for us? And that's what my issue with a lot of the story was. It's like, how much of this is real and how much of this is happening for us? Yeah. And that's why I was struggling to find out what the show was supposed to be about, because you get to the end of the episode, you're like, well, half of it was ghosts, half of it was this girl who's trying to trap you, and the other half of it was you eating dinner with your boyfriend. I don't know what the fuck the show is.
And I knew there was scenes and moments where things were a bit creepy. Like, for instance, they go to, Hazel tells Nella to basically bump her, or leave work early and join this party in New York in a really nice fancy house. And Nella says, "Oh, I don't really have the clothes to wear." Similar to the conversation we had earlier, where I don't have the clothes to wear to dress. I don't know what that makeover was supposed to do. It wasn't eating anything.
I was like, do you know what? I'll props to this for doing a makeover that was like mid.
It was so mid.
All makeovers are suddenly like, this person goes from a 0 to 100. This person went from 15 to 20.
Yeah, honestly. And then Hazel makes her up to basically look like her. Nothing.
She just put some lipstick on.
Let's be honest. And the jacket.
And then an ugly pin. Yeah. Are you 40? Are you literally 45?
I was so confused because she's like, "Oh no, you look great." I was like, "What part are you guys going to?" Because I thought
I was like, Hazel, either you're a liar, which she turned out to be, or you're sick.
Exactly. And then as she's getting ready, all of a sudden her scalp starts bleeding.
They never explain that.
Nothing's explained. She starts scratching her head, and I was like, oh, that's a bit weird. Then all of a sudden you see like thick blood. Now we've all had some itchy scalps in our times, but I never seen blood like that. You see speck, and you see like on your fingers, not dripping down. So that should be the sign. But I was just like, I don't get it. I still don't get it.
It wasn't clear.
Nothing was
had
clear.
been set up at that point to make us think, oh, that's weird, and it
Yeah.
never, ever
Gets
was
resolved.
again.
No.
We know because we've watched the end. That I'm assuming that was about the hair grease.
The hair grease was causing the scalp to bleed.
Anyway, they go to this party. Hazel has a one-to-one with the boss of Wagner, and he's like, come into my office on tomorrow and we'll have some good ideas for Diana. And basically, Nella's career starts taking off.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to have a piece of Nella. Diana, who wrote her favourite book, which was edited by the last black editor at the company, it's the anniversary of the book. Nella persuades her to republish it, and then they decide they're going to start an imprint. And the racist book gets pulled because it was racist. And things are going well for Nella. Nella's best friend, however, Malika, who was honestly the only funny character in this thing.
Yeah.
Like, Malika was doing God's work, trying to keep this as
carrying the comedy in her back.
On her back. Is like, no, there's something fishy about this Hazel girl.
Yeah.
Because Nella invites Hazel round for dinner. Again, the world is so small.
Yeah.
Like, I invited you round to dinner to meet my best friend and my boyfriend. I have one best friend and one boyfriend. So obviously you have one boyfriend, but you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, it's just so small.
I mean.
No.
Yeah, I'm joking. No, it was a bit weird, but I was like, okay.
I have a friend that I met through work.
Yeah.
And I introduced her on my birthday.
Yeah.
Imagine if I emailed the group chat and said, I want you to meet one girl that I met.
Oh, true.
Come to my house, we're having a party so you can meet her. You guys would be like, is this your wife or what? That is so formal.
It is really, yeah, it was, I mean, yeah.
Anyway.
In hindsight, it is.
At this dinner party, which never happens, Malika is wearing a TLC shirt. Hazel's like, I love TLC. So Malika puts a TLC song on and she's like, what song is this? And she's like, what do you mean, what song is this? You said you love TLC. And Hazel's like, yeah, I love this one. And Malika's like, you lying bitch. So after she goes, before she goes, she tries to pull Nella aside and be like, listen, I don't trust this girl. Her and Nella end up getting into it. Again, very weird that my best friend would back a stranger she met 2 weeks ago when I'm telling her, the story's not adding up.
Well, that's why I was thinking, oh, maybe there's a whole like obsession aspect to it. Mind control.
Yeah, and also there was like a thing about, oh, well, you dated someone in the past and she wasn't a good person. You're not, as in like, an implication that Malika's not a good judge of character, which again doesn't really go anywhere. Because we don't know anything about this friendship to know, like, yeah, this is a deep-seated issue. We literally met Malika the episode before, and now this is the second time we've met her. Like, I don't know anything about you girls. So, Malika storms off, but she vows to investigate Hazel. And digging into Hazel, we learn that... Oh, well, before that, a woman accosts Nella on the train and is like, Hazel's name is Eva. She's not really Hazel. Don't trust her.
Yeah.
Malika starts digging into Eva. Malika starts digging into the non-profit that Hazel says she runs, which again, what a weird lie. We could find this out. I just didn't get it. Like, if you're going to lie about stuff that we couldn't Google.
Yeah.
Anyway, she's not, it doesn't look like she's running that non-profit at all. And Hazel invites Nella to her house for a party or birthday thing. No, it's not a birthday thing. It's like a party that she does with her friends. Yeah. It's called a hair party. Again, completely made up.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
She comes to this hair party with Malika, who's like, I'm here to snoop. That episode, for the first time, we're in Hazel's perspective, and we see that she has someone tied up in a room.
Because in the previous episode, that same person had been hijacked. Abducted.
And that was the same person who told Nella to be wary of Hazel because she's actually Eva.
Yeah. So it's like, at that point, you're like, okay,
maybe this is my hope. Maybe the story is going somewhere. Maybe there's this conspiracy that Malika has been talking about, and it's been implied from most of the episode.
Hazel's the bad guy.
Yeah, so maybe this is what's happening.
At the party, Malika is surprised to see her ex, who her and Nella were arguing about earlier, but now her ex is like a completely different person, and all of these girlies are very high-powered jobs. Life's going really well for them, and they're a sisterhood. They support each other. And Malika goes to the loo, and when she comes back, she sees that Hazel is caressing Nella's scalp because she's about to do her hair. And she goes to put this grease in it, and Malika's like, "Oh, don't do that. Like, we don't know what's in it." Which, the crazy thing is, I really do not think I would be like, "Let me see the ingredients of a cream that you put in my hair."
So no, I mean, I wouldn't do it for my friend, but I would do it for me. Like if you were like, let me in what century am I like sitting down in between your legs?
Is exactly what I was
like
thinking.
I'm like this
in
is
what universe?
Even now, the last time I did that was when I was getting my hair done as a child with my mum. Actually, no, that happened for a long time. Teens, when she was do cornrows in my hair, or anytime my sister, for instance, would help me undo my hair. But even then, I'll be sitting on the chair and she'll be standing up above me and undo my hair for me. And that's not happened in a very long time because I don't wear weaves or things like that. So, there's no instance, we've been friends for a very long time, but I ain't sitting between your legs.
Yeah.
And in the same breath, like, I will also bring my own ingredients. Why the heck are you giving me blue magic? Which is what it looked like.
It was in a labeled tub.
Yeah.
It looked, honestly, do you know what it made me think about that? What was that the gel, the hair gel that people used to use when we were in school?
Oh no, I don't know what that one.
Oh, it had a special name, and everyone had it. It came in these like little tubs, so you could like bring it to school and like slick down your hair.
No, I didn't know what that.
Maybe like Wet and Go or something. I can't remember. No, I'll remember it later.
Not got to be.
No, it wasn't got to be.
Got to be came out a little later.
It was like Dark and Lovely's, like.
Oh, that okay.
Yeah, and that was when was Eco Styler?
But that Eco has a massive.
Yeah, but in a little.
Maybe they have. Oh.
They have like slightly harder gels that go in. Anyway, this is
nothing to do with this review.
Yeah, this is not either one of those because it's in this random thing. Anyway, these girls are about to put it in Nella's hair. Malika is like, "Don't be putting like we're on a hair care journey. Don't be putting just random things in." So she doesn't put the grease in. She tells Nella, "Go snoop. I'll distract the girlies down here." Yeah. Nella goes upstairs, looks around Hazel's room, finds an envelope that has a bunch of pictures, and each picture is of her friends downstairs, where it says before and after, and all the afters look kind of the same. Like they've all been dressed in blazers and have permed their hair and look polished. And the last picture is of her, just the before, waiting to fill out the after. So Nella freaks out. She's like, we've got to go. She goes back to her flat and she's like, you guys were right. Hazel's fucking crazy. I don't know what she's doing, but I feel like she's doing stuff to these girls. Like it must be a cult or something. I don't know what to do. I don't want to see her. And this is when the show starts to go off the rails for me. Because the next episode is from Hazel's perspective. And honestly, I found this episode to be quite moving.
Yes, the whole, yeah.
I think the girl who plays Hazel, like, her performance in this episode at least, it was really, felt very real. But basically, Hazel's real name is Chantal. She is a working class girl who doesn't get to go to uni because her mum is paralysed and she's basically her living carer.
Yeah.
And she loves this book called Burning Hearts, which is written by Diana, which also happens to be Nella's favourite book. And she finds out that Diana's speaking at Harvard, so she goes, or Yale, so she goes there to like ask her some questions. And Diana sees her afterwards and invites her to this meal. And at the meal, they basically say, like, we're a sisterhood, right? Whatever you want comes to pass. Like, and you're thinking, oh, this is like a manifestation group where they just sort of write down their dreams on a piece of paper and burn it and hope for the best. But the girls will say, the women will be like, I want to be CEO of the company. And then Diana will take a bit of hair grease and rub it into their scalp. And I'm assuming this hair grease, which they never explain what the properties of the hair grease are, makes you successful.
This is giving me... this is the power of the Black Panther. the thing that they pour into the Black Panther for him to become the Black Panther.
Yeah, I feel like anyone who's read the book will probably have more of an understanding of what the law is with this. But it's why it's so weird that this was adapted by the author and they didn't think, we forgot to mention what the hell this is about.
In my head, when I saw it, I thought it was blue magic. And in my head, it will always remain blue magic. Cream.
Well, Chantal is like interested in this, and they're like, what do you want? And she's like, well, I want to get a good job. I don't want to have to be stuck looking. I'm going to earn enough money that I can like hire a carer to look after my mum and go follow my dreams, and I want to work in publishing. You suddenly jump, I don't know how ever many months, but now Chantal has got a weave. Her scalp is itching her. Everything sounds loud. She calls up Diana and she's like, I don't know if this cream is working. Like, I've got a headache. She's like, just use more of it. And remember, you've got a task. And your task is to go and recruit more women to this cause where they use the hair grease and get what they want. And that's what I feel like I went back and watched this episode. I went back in this episode like 3 times because I kept on being like, maybe I missed a bit.
Same.
But I couldn't work out the correlation between... You've got a magic cream. You need other people to use the cream.
Yeah.
If I had a magic cream that was making me successful, why am I sharing it with every single person? I don't get it.
Or maybe it's like for Black Sisterhood, like, you know.
But it's not out of goodness.
Like,
they beat the shit out of that girl who doesn't want to be in it.
It's like Black Girl Magic. Literally.
By force, though.
Yeah.
You can't not want to be in it. You have to want to be in it.
I don't know.
So Chantal meets this girl who's called what's her name? I can't remember. But she's the girl who ends up later on trying to warn Nella about her.
Oh, yeah.
She tells this girl that her name's Eva. They befriend each other, and then on a night out, this girl's like, hey man, how'd you do it? Like, you just seem so calm and so well put together. Like, how'd you do it? And she like produces this pot of grease, which is honestly, what the hell is this show? And the girl's like, what is it? She's like, it's a cream. If you use it in your hair, everything in your life will be great. And the girl's like, no. And I couldn't work out. Like, I was like, I'm really confused by why. If someone said this cream is gonna solve all your problems, all you have to do is put it in your hair, you'd be like, yeah, no, I'm good actually.
No, but I wouldn't.
You wouldn't.
Yeah.
But if you was really going through it, because that's how they got Chantal,
true,
right?
True.
So I don't understand why they're going after women who don't need the cream.
Yeah.
And being like, you must use the cream.
You must try. You must have it.
Anyway, the girl leaves. She's uncomfortable as well because Chantal's basically like, please use the cream. And she's like, leave me alone. So because Chantal messes up, this girl ends up being attacked in the street and snatched. I don't know why they did this. They didn't explain it. They smashed her head in the wall. For no reason. She also loses her job because Chantal goes to work and tells them all the secrets she's learned from this girl. So she ruins this woman's life, which is bizarre to me because the point of the group is to make people's lives better. Anyway, flash forward to the present, and basically Chantal, Eva, Hazel, all one person, has been recruited to do the same thing to Nella. I don't know who recruited her.
And
like
why
who
specifically her?
Who's get like? I couldn't work out like what. So Richard wanted her to become a hot girl.
Maybe
Why does he care?
I got so confused because I didn't know, but by the time I got to the last 2 episodes, I lost track of the show.
It was really confusing.
But I didn't know if him, Richard, and the girl, Diana was in on it together, which I'm assuming they kind of were.
A little bit.
But I wasn't confused, but I was so confused by that point. And then Richard was then just firing everyone by that point. So I was lost. I have nothing else to add to this review because I don't know. I can't tell you what happened at the end.
So this is what I've cobbled together of the ending. At the launch part, so they've launched Imprint. It's time, and Nella has been going after this podcaster who she really admires. She meets him and he's like, I would never in a million years sign a deal with Wagner because they're a racist company, but you do you, girl. Go off, sis.
Yeah.
It's a very horrible meeting, actually. I thought he didn't need to be such a cunt to her. Like, she's not the problem.
Yeah.
Anyway, the next day she comes into work and he's apparently agreed to do it. And she's like, well, that's weird. And he's like, yeah, I got a haircut and I'm just looking at the world differently. And it's like, oh, the grease has been used on him as well. The grease apparently makes you dumb. I don't get it. Like, they just don't explain what the grease is doing.
No, it's supposed to like take over your mind, but how are they seeping into your skin? Are you just rubbing in your hair?
But take over your mind in what way? It's making your life better. What is the cream?
I mean,
what is the cream? That's all I want to know. What is it? What is it? What is it?
I said blue magic.
So
literally magic.
So when Nella sees that, she's like, no, these people are evil. Yeah. And she thinks the bad guy is Richard, right? That's who she's convinced is the bad guy. And so she comes to the party and they're like, we're going to expose Richard at this party. And Hazel catches her in the toilet and she's like, I know who you are, Hazel. You're working for Richard. And Hazel's like, you're so stupid. Do you think Richard's the one running this? And she pushes Nella on stage because they need to do their big speech. And Nella realises that it's been Diana this whole time. Yeah. Which we already knew. Yeah. So, Nella makes this big speech trying to be like, they're evil and they're turning everyone into zombies or whatever. And no one believes her. She's like, damn, I look crazy. That's what the plan was here, to make me look crazy. That's the end of that, you think. No, it's not. Hazel's like, you need to use the cream. Nella's like, I'm never going to use the cream. She's like, you have to use the cream. So they kidnap her. They kidnap her, they tie her up, and they're like, you have to use the cream. Yeah. She's like, I'm not going to use the cream. They're like, we'll kill your friends. Yeah,
and then at one point they attack Michaela.
Yeah, Maleka's running to the launch party to try and warn her. She gets hit by a car. Yeah. Only breaks her arm.
Yeah, that was wild, because I thought the girl was dead. The way that attack looks...
It just undoes all the stakes. If it's like, she got hit by a car, she broke her arm. Okay, cool, so she's fine. Because she's still part of the final episodes. Yeah. She wasn't even in the hospital for that long.
When I saw her in the hospital, I was like, wait, what? I thought she was dead. That was giving me more stakes if she actually died.
You was hoping she was dead.
I wasn't hoping that she was dead. I was just like, where again? Like, maybe this will become more interesting and, you know, there'll be some actual dilemmas and conflicts.
It won't. So, they tie... It won't. They've got Nella tied up and they're like, we're going to make you use the cream. And they're like 2 seconds away from putting the cream on her head, which, again, this is crazy. Out of the blue, someone gets tased. And you're like, what's going on? And Kendra, long lost Kendra, turns out has been living in the sewers, trying to bring Diana and Richard down for what they're doing, which is...
Beef for real? Who?
Putting hair grease in people's heads. Only 5 people have been recruited to this thing since this started. So I'm really confused as to how dangerous these people are.
Oh my god.
Anyway, Kendra helps Nella escape, and then she's like, you need to move to Ohio. And Nella's like, what? And she's like, you can't stay here. As long as you're here, they're going to try and turn you into one of them. And then she's like, but you don't understand. They've hit my friend with a car. They're not safe. As long as I'm around, if I don't take the cream, everybody's in danger. And Hazel is equally in danger. Because basically Diana's like, if that girl doesn't use the cream, you're finished. So, the series ends... In the final episode... Nella goes back to work. Yeah. And Nella goes back to work with a weave. Yeah. And a new blazer. Yeah. And she looks good. Which, again, what are we saying about black women in the office? That the only way that you can look good is if you've got a weave and you're wearing...
So dangerous.
High fashion. Anyway, we'll come back to that.
Yeah.
She comes in and she manages to convince Diana and Hazel that she's used the cream. Again, how stupid. How would she have used the cream if you guys have the cream? When did she get the cream?
Oh my gosh.
To use the cream? I'm deeply confused.
Why did they not give her like a little sample? Oh, did they leave the blue magic on her bedside table or something?
Like, let's say they did give her a sample, right? I come in the next day and I've got a weave and you're like, yeah, that's the grease. Huh? You don't even check my scalp to see if I put the grease on. You guys, your operation is useless. And she comes and sits down and you're, as a viewer, you're supposed to be thinking like, wow, she used the grease. Didn't even believe that for a second. And she's like, Hazel's like, I'm so glad you used the grease and now we can truly be friends because you know everything, we can talk about everything, let's hang out. She's like, yeah, I'm busy, let's hang out another day. And he was like, yeah, okay. She leaves. And then she calls up God knows who, because we don't ever see who the phone calls with, and she says, guys, I'm in.
I'm assuming it's the boyfriend, is Malika.
In for what?
I'm in the cult.
Why?
So that I can infiltrate it from the inside.
What does the cult want?
I think maybe it's like, I am now going to use this for my advantage to bring more black girls into the business. But they think it's for the cult, but it's actually just to enhance the sisterhood. It's dumb. This whole show is dumb. Do you know what?
Either Shoshana and I are the two dumbest people on the planet, and the show was very simple. We just don't get it. Or the show was seriously confusing.
I think there's two things. One, as we mentioned before, and we talked about last year and many a times, it does not always work when you have the author of the book writing the screenplay of the show. And two, with all those big people in the room and all those talented cast, you're telling me that no one asked the question, what would the audience think? Like, I don't understand. Because to me, for a show to get commissioned and to get through all the different leaps and jumps and stages, there's someone that's reading the script and saying, but this storyline doesn't close that storyline. This storyline is open-ended. This grease has not been explained. There's no name to it. I've been calling it blue magic because it was a joke for the whole pod because it was being funny and it looked blue. Like,
I thought it looked brown.
Oh, really?
Literally looked like
but that's the thing. There was no rhyme or reason to it, and I don't know. It was so disappointing as well. It felt like it had premise or had promise to it, but there was nothing of substance. I didn't know it was supposed to give a message. The only person who was trying to give a message around being black in the workplace was the white boyfriend.
Also,
no shade, but
I don't know how you rank them, and someone must have somewhere ranked all the white boyfriends in black TV shows. But he didn't look like a white boyfriend.
No, he didn't.
And I cannot explain why, but he just did not
Actually,
look like
wait,
a white
give
boyfriend.
me a white boyfriend that you rank up there. That's like a good white boyfriend. Now I'm trying to think too.
Yeah, now the thing is, whenever someone asks you a question, you blank, and then as soon as I get the cab home, I'll be like, this person.
There's a YouTube channel that they
That's
celebrate.
a real person though.
They celebrate. No, I'm talking about they celebrate. Like, not celebrate, but they just show like interracial couples.
Of course,
in
you
TV.
watch a YouTube channel that celebrates. That's crazy. Celebrate, you know. The words were celebrate, not even
all love is Black Club.
disgusting.
Black Club is
It celebrates. That means that they've got a cake and candles. Woo! This is crazy. Doing party poppers. This is mad.
Anyway, the most recent one I saw, I'm not even gonna dignify with the response. The most recent one I saw was I watched a flat share, which I was talking about I would end up watching on Paramount. The show wasn't great, but there was this interracial couple with a black woman who was like the lawyer and the go-getter, and she had this white boyfriend who just like doted at her, like hand and foot. And he was played by the guy who played the prince in Ariel, the new Ariel.
Okay.
That guy, super cute. He's like really, yeah. Jonah something, I think his name is. Anyway,
Nick Jonah.
no, not Jonah. It's got like it's a Dutch name, I think.
Nick Jonas.
No, not Nick Jonah.
Jonah Hauer.
Yeah, that guy. Trying to think of a good white boyfriend.
I can't think, but there's something.
There
There must be.
No, I was gonna say How to Get Away with Murder. He was not a good boyfriend.
Oh.
Oh,
Why is
he
a picture of a dick on a girl's phone?
No, that was Scandal.
No,
Sorry, that was How to Get Away with Murder. Yeah. Sorry, let me change back. White J. Wasn't White J a good boyfriend?
White J's a good white boyfriend.
And he looked like a good white boyfriend.
I just mean like weirdly. Maybe next episode.
You know what? We'll do a
will have
ranking.
list.
We'll have a list.
But white boyfriends have a look.
No,
there is a look.
I think there's a
this
great,
guy
there's a,
didn't look
there's
like
a
a white
gradient
boyfriend.
of a look. There's some that are like traditionally, like conventionally hot white American guys that would be with any person, and there's some that are like shit hanks.
No, we don't claim. We don't claim that. Don't claim that.
The thing is, the most crazy thing is you don't even need to put a brand to it. You just say his name and you know what I mean.
Don't claim that. I was gonna say something.
That question is gonna boggle my mind.
That this guy sadly looked like, and this is such a specific thing, but you know that famous picture of the little black girl going to school in America for the first time when they desegregated schools?
Yeah.
There's a picture of this black girl
walking
into a school, and then all these people are heckling. He looks like one of the hecklers. He looks like he could play a racist teenager in the 1950s.
Let me just see his name. Okay, let's just get his name out.
That's just a look. It's not. I'm not saying that he did.
Hunter
this.
Parry. Hunter
I'm
Parry.
just saying that's
name.
the look. Lots of people have made their money.
Isn't great.
Loads of people have made their money.
Without the beard, I think he looks like a okay white boyfriend.
No, it's given.
With
Scandi.
the beard,
it's given. It's
No.
given. He used to be a slave owner. In a prestige drama. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying in real life. I'm saying he could play a slave owner in a prestigious drama. And that's why he can't play your white boyfriend.
No. I mean, the couple looked a bit weird.
They don't look like they've ever met each other.
Yeah, sure.
And I actually feel like that was a problem across the casting of the entire series.
No one met each other.
It all just felt like disparate parts that were brought together so you could so you could make some money. Like it just didn't feel like a real world to me.
I'm now looking at pictures of the guy, and I get what you mean.
He's not
get what
that.
you
He's
mean.
just not. He's not your.
I couldn't see them as a couple ever.
Every time they kissed, I said acting.
Yeah,
I'm acting.
Like I just can't imagine it. I will say one thing: the girl who plays Hazel, stunning.
So tiny.
She's so small, but I mean,
She could fit in your pocket.
Yeah, but she was so beautiful. I loved her hair. The whole time I was like, I know this is about her hair grease and her hair just started bleeding, but should I consider
Also,
locks?
is her hair a wig then?
I think
Because
it's a
her
wig.
hair at the top. No, I mean,
for the gloss.
in the show, at the top of the series, she's got bangs. She already has the weave that they said that she needed, but they were like broke girl bangs. Then she gets this blonde wig, and then she gets the locks. Is the locks real, or is the locks?
I mean, the locks thought they were coming out of the scalp.
But is the locks because of the grease, or was the locks her own hair?
Well, now I'm seeing her real hair. It's definitely the lock. It's definitely a wig. She's so stunning. Where's she from? She's 35. Wow.
She's so small.
She's so tiny.
But
anyway.
But what would we... Let's wrap this up.
Let's just
now,
wrap this up right
we
here.
obviously don't know what's going on.
No.
And if someone can explain to us
That'd
in
be-
really simple terms
That'd be amazing.
what the deal with the Greeks is, that'd be really, really helpful because we were so confused.
I actually have one question before we rank. Would you read the book to know what the grease was?
I would literally skip through the book to find out what the grease thing was. And I feel like I could go on YouTube tonight and find out what it is.
BookTok will tell you what it is.
Yeah, I don't need to read the book.
Yeah. I'll be honest, I have no interest in reading this book. It's this type of, like, the horror... When you get to the horror aspect of the genre, I become less interested. The comedy and drama aspect of being, like, the other black girl in the workplace, I'll read. And if it's romance, I'm there for, but I would know... All the, like, the grounded sci-fi bits, I'm not really there for it.
I love horror when it's done well. Like, I was literally I was thinking about this the other day about the first episode of The Haunting of Hill House and how great it is at building tension, but there's like not actually a scare until the very end of that episode. Yeah. And so many people try and craft horror TV and are like, within the first 5 minutes you need to punch people in the stomach with scare. And it's like, you don't have any confidence in your story if you have to scare people from the first second. Exactly. Unless you're saying this is going to be a show where there's scares constantly. Exactly. Like, that's what our show is. Within the first 5 minutes, there's a scare because within the next 20 minutes, you're going to be scared 3 more times.
Exactly. And I think that's why I always use the example of True Detective. Like, horror is not my genre, but series 1, I pushed
Scary.
through. It's terrifying, but I pushed through it all the way to the end because
And
it
it's
was
not
so,
a horror.
It's not, but it was so good. Like it built all the way through this like 5, 6, however many episodes. Then when you realize what the perpetrator was and the horror behind it, I was gripped and I realized I'm scared and I'm terrified and I don't really like this type of genre, but I'm gonna watch this because I need to find out what happens at the end. And so I agree, you don't need to have a scare a minute. And this one was trying to also not do a scare a minute, but it was not doing anything, so I didn't know what to say.
There was no, like, the scares that
There's
they
no stakes.
provided literally had no bearing on the actual story.
Yeah.
They should have done away with all those stupid scares inside of the office, and then I just had it be that she was being followed
Yeah.
by this woman who was trying to warn her about Ava,
Yeah.
who turns out to be
Oh god.
Hazel, who turns out to be Chantal. Like, that's what it should have been. It should, because that would have focused the whole thing.
Yeah.
Having this scare going on the side way, these memories of these two people who we're not going to meet, like, it's just all of these bits and pieces. And I feel like, do you know what the problem is? In the novel, I bet it all came together really well.
Agree.
And then when it came time to adapt, she's just pulled those things straight from the novel into this, and you could just see it's like there was no sitting down and thinking about structure of a show though.
So
how
different.
much do we want to piece, like how much of this story do we want to share, because there's a lot going on,
Yeah.
and you end up not doing either one of those things justice. You don't do the scares justice, you don't do the relationship between Kendra and Diana justice, and then you end up not doing the main storyline justice, because by the time you start explaining it, it's episode 9 of 10. And these are half-hour episodes.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I am very grateful it was half an hour. But the main thing is, I felt like the writer wrote the screenplay for the fans. But she forgot a good chunk of us, like us, have never read the book.
I don't think it was even written for the fans.
Oh, for people
I don't
that
think
would
it
know
was
what the
written
book
for
is
the fans,
about.
because I think that the book. I think that it's so interesting. I was literally talking to a author today about adapting their book,
Yeah.
and all of the questions, all of the things that make the book good, don't necessarily translate to screen.
And that's
And so
fine.
you have to have conversations about what can you take, what can you lift, what do you remove, what do you alter slightly. Like, those are all conversations that you have way before you sit down to write the script.
100%.
And everything about that first episode, now realising what it ends up being, is symptomatic of the fact that they didn't know how they were going to bring all these threads together. They just went, throw it all in now, and then we'll figure it out at the end. And then you don't figure it out in the end. And it's because you, and it's not her fault because she's not a TV writer, don't know how important it is to have figured out what the structure of this is going to be before you sit down to write. There's no point you writing episode 1 where you don't know what episode 2 would look like.
No.
It doesn't make sense. You need to at least know, right, where I want to leave my characters is here, and where we pick it up is here.
Yeah.
Duh.
I know. But anyway, if you're going to rate it, I'll be honest, it's one of the most confusing things I've watched all year. So I'll rate it 1.5.
I was going to give it a 2, solely for Malika.
I
I just feel like it's just so annoying when you see somebody's given, like, I've never seen her in anything before, but I'm like, based on this performance here, I think you're about to be around.
Yeah, that's good.
And it's annoying that you are the star in an otherwise shit show, because are you the star?
No.
Or are you just the best person on the stage?
You're probably the best person on the stage, but the stars will still be like the top billions. What
I mean is, are you the star as in are you going to be the standout from this thing?
Yeah, but it's another from it, yeah.
Yeah, are you standing out because the thing is so shit, or are you standing out because you genuinely are?
If I be perfectly frank, I think it's the former. I would love to see a bit more stuff, but I don't know.
She seemed to be the only person who knew what show this was supposed to be.
Well, they wrote her character well.
Even Nella, I just couldn't get a read on her. I couldn't get a read on the
connect with
performance
her. Yeah.
She's too sincere at times. She's too jokey, goofy at times. I'm just like, who is this woman?
Yeah.
Who is she? No mum, no where are your family? Just like all the things that colour you as a person are missing.
Yeah.
And I bet you those were things that were in the book that the author thought, oh, no one's going to want to see that.
Oh, no, we need that.
We can't put that in, it's too irrelevant. And then you've kept in a fucking scare sequence where she walks around thinking that she's going somewhere, but actually she's going on the same...
I mean, this was one of the shows where they really needed some audience research insights way before they... Not even before they started. Once they cut a few episodes, they really need some insights.
It's not even audience insights. I'm shocked. Like you said something earlier, and it's so real that all of these people in the room, because you don't write in a vacuum it goes on TV. All of you guys saw this, right? And thought, right, okay, yeah, we'll just put this on. Rashida Jones.
That's what surprised.
That's crazy to me.
To me, that's nuts. Because
I don't think Charlie Brooker would have accepted this as a draft.
100%. I mean, I know that there's definitely been shows that I've worked on where I've watched and been like, this is terrible. But you know what? The people behind it also know it's bad. The people behind it have known that they've tried to work hard to try and get it into a good place, and it's just not worked out, and that's what they've got as a finished product. This, the fact that they put so much promotion behind it, I mean, it's not massive.
It's because it's based on a book, and they know, at the very least, right, we might be able to keep viewers because they read the book. But if we try to just market this as a show without, no one would watch this because it doesn't know what it is.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't know what it is.
I do not need to see a series 2.
There's not going to be a series 2, I think.
I know. I mean, I gave my 1.5 because the cast was nice. Like, it's always nice to see, like, the thing is, you know, when we talked about not Beef, what was that show? The Loot, and you said we have so many great performers, but just really bad writers. Like so many great comedy actors in Loot, but I didn't
come together.
No, not at all. Whereas with this one, you have some really great big hitters from this incredible shows that I watched growing up. You had the guy from The Office US. You had the guy from Will and Grace. He was good.
All of those people gave because it felt like they thought they were in one
Benjamin
show.
Younger's Scandal,
and the show was actually something else.
Yeah, completely different. So it's just like there was so much potential with the show, but I wish everyone the best.
Saying I wish you all the best after you've just dragged someone is so funny to me.
That's my mum used to do this thing, like we would argue. All of a sudden she says God bless. I said don't tell me God bless. No, she said God bless you, but it's not in the like, oh God bless you.
No, she's saying
it's like
okay, God bless you.
It's as if you're trying to insult me. And I always say don't please, I'm blessed already. Don't try and bless me. I mean, in my head I said it. I don't think I said it out loud because
I remember when
I was a slap of my life.
There was a person that worked. There was this person that worked at my old workplace, and they were leaving, and I couldn't stand them. I like messaged my colleague, and I was like, "Good riddance. I wish her all the best, though." And she was just like, "No, you don't." No, honestly, all the best.
Oh my god!
I wish you all the best.
What else can you say? Like, have fun. Like,
no, it's like I meant that.
No,
when I say I meant it, I was like, I meant it to sound sarcastic.
Like, I do wish
all
you
the best.
Like, great.
All the best means I don't wish you the best at all.
No, I mean, yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't say I wish you the best.
Like,
I said all the best.
All the best of your time. But yeah, talking of all the best, we're going to move from one adaptation to another.
Oh, God.
Yeah. The next show that we're going to be reviewing next week is Survival of the Thickest, which is based on a memoir of the same name by Michelle Buteau. It's a series of essays, and it's about her life. So maybe there's some creative license with the series, but it's based on her life.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll see.
I'm not gonna lie, I have watched a couple of episodes.
I've also watched a few.
I need to rewatch it though, because I couldn't really connect.
Well,
we're gonna try again. But that being said, you know, when I say I couldn't connect, I was doing other things. So I'm gonna try and sit down and concentrate and watch it, and then we'll come back and review next week.
But one thing I'll say now: if you're a comedian and your comedy series doesn't hit, that is fucking dark. That is dark.
Honestly, it's true.
You make your bread and butter by comedy,
and you can't.
And then you make a series and it flops.
But again, as we've seen with this review, you could write a book, but don't mean you can write a screenplay.
Well, maybe we'll find out that she has the exact same problem.
Exactly.
Because she's adapting her own.
Yeah.
IP.
Yeah. So from one black girl to another black girl.
One of us is the girl and the other one is the other. We won't be naming any names, but she knows
you know who it is.
She knows who she is.
And she's talking in third person.
Is she stuttering?
Anyway. The main black girl just wants to thank you for listening to Scripts and Giggles. because you can be the other black girl.
And the black woman in the room leaving the girls chat to the little kids at the kids table says, have a good rest of your week, babies, and I'll see you in the next one.
Thank you, girlies.
Bye.
Bye.